like early skirmishes and melees that you feel confident just hands checking them in. And okay, the Scion got banned away. Here's the other big meatball for the top lane. It's the
Either try and pick something else that's also short range, kind of take the blow and then go from there. That Sklan's gone.
Yep, nice use of the level 2 advantage from Hans and Lebrov, guaranteeing that they're putting that early.
Right now, kind of, as we get the hook.
Yeah, nicely done from Lebrov. Remember, there's no cleanse from IU. He has to flash, guaranteeing that he stays safe, because if Hans flashes first and gets that auto fired, you know that there's problems for IU. So IU forced to use
the area. And yeah, as you highlight, it's the 4th shot, right? If you end up getting clipped by that, you have to preemptively flash. If you're too late and the auto is already in the ways, Skewmond.
Yeah, Caps has already made the flash engage here onto Toots, but he does not get the kill. Skewmond thinking about trying to go for that chomp. Maybe if Furia overchases, Toots has almost no resources to work with. He's just going to try to push the wave out as Skewmond trying to taunt towards Tatu, who chases after Caps, but the stun was ready, and Caps stops the Furia jungler from being able to get anything at all accomplished here. Now back in the bottom lane, the 2v2 continues with Jojo and IU trying to fight back against these guys. Lebrov with only 300 HP has to think twice about whether or not he wants to find that dredge line shot as Skewmond makes his way into the top lane. Gigo tries to flash out of the Pillar of Filth, but Broken Blade's immediately ready to follow. He goes for the brittle, he finds the proc, and Gigo's getting rocked. Skewmond takes a bite out of him. It's first blood over to G2. All three.
About the state of his individual matchup, but also we knew he was topside. He was scouted the whole way through.
And Lebrov goes in for the dredge line. Remember that Toots does not have flash available this time. A little bit more damage is all they need. The fireball's in the air, but Toots drank his potion and barely walks it off.
The play's still successful though,
There's
because
huge go buttons like we already talked about on the side of Furia to force them to reconsider, to make sure that G2 can't just play their G2 game. Skewmond already starting off here, looking for this first Drake nice and early. Caps caught out though, Toots going in. Toots finds the solo kill on Caps as Broken Blade makes his way over and works together with Tibbers to avenge the G2 mid laner. A 1-for-1 trade in mid as Skewmond will take the Drake in the meantime.
1-for-1 plus a dragon. That's a deal that you'll take. Nice arrival there. Caps getting a little bit caught off guard, I think, there by the damage coming through from this Orianna. But there's not that much to be gained, right? Even the bot side wave that isn't picked up by anyone from G2. So I don't think you really want to fight. A couple of one-item spikes that are going to be really big for G2 are imminent as here we go again.
Immediate engage from Caps. Counter shockwave from Toots though, as Tatu jumps in for a little bit of extra damage onto the G2 mid laner. Tibbers will die to Pantheon's spear underneath the tier 1 turret. Broken Blade joining there, but the 2v2 is no kills for either side.
Trunk is still just sitting on that sheen. Like, my man is banking gold, and obviously any back that isn't Triforce isn't really going to feel like that big of a deal. Was both Lebrov and Broken Blade just keep showing up in mid lane.
Lebrov's ready to go. Dredge line connects. Nami Tidal Wave buys enough time to keep Toots alive, but now the Shockwave again for the counterplay. Skewmond, though, not afraid of that one at all. If Caps would have got caught, yeah, maybe you've got some real threat there, but with Caps not being caught up inside the AoE, it's easy for G2 to walk away.
And if it's just these two, you obviously don't really have to flash there. I don't think they have enough damage, but there's always the threat of the Pantheon. You don't know where Tatu is, so if you don't flash, no, because the kill that he was able to get. And again, look at that experience bar. He's thriving. And G2, they can go for fights. They still have a lot of power with this Annie, with this Jhin. If Furia make a play, commit to something, the exit is going to be a nightmare with that Jhin.
Oh, bunch of damage from the culling there. Looked like that was what? IU hitting Lebrov about 80% of the bullets that he could have fired total. Lebrov takes a massive hit from that as now Furia, with the chunk on the enemy support, looking to extend their control over this bot side river. Skewmond still hanging around though. Lebrov walking close to the dry brush, does get found out. Tidal wave over the top. Lebrov taking a ton of damage, and Tatu gets the kill. Furia ties this game up 2-2. In terms of the kill count, it also buys them control over this bottom lane. It buys IU the opportunity to get some plate money. Tatu going in for the ulti, but the Grand Starfall is not finding a close enough landing point to Hansama to make anything else happen. It will, however, force the G2 jungler and AD carry further back. It will allow IU and JoJo to get a second plate off of this turret for a grand total of 3 so far, and it opens up the bottom lane river for Furia to now start up the Drake. But the problem is the Scryer's trinket has already been used by G2. They know that Furia is going after this, and Furia has already used a lot of tools. They wanted to use them to make those kills, but now it's Skewmon getting caught out. He has a flash to try to get away, but the curtain call is opened up. The bullets are firing off, and once again it's G2 grabbing the feet of warfare. Furia has overplayed their hand, and G2 is happy to punish a little bit of a juggling going on here in mid lane as Tuts is caught out and beat down, and Caps is getting paid.
When the play started out, I thought that G2 had overstepped, but I think Furia just a little bit too over-eager there to dive into that choke point. They had full control of the choke point leading into River. I think if they play that slow... I don't think you can give over Herald against a composition like G2's. Ornn is going to give so much value to the enemy team. And I think in the 5v5, just playing straight up late game, it's not even like... Oh, boy.
All right, let's see how well he can hit these. Might not even get to shoot the fourth one. Nope, tidal wave arrives.
Play out. G2 will either absorb or just force an engage with the insane amount of hard engage that they have. And the Ornn items are going to be such a big deal when the enemy composition is relying upon just toasting someone as soon as they can. And maybe there's an opportunity here.
Broken Blade. He'll take a little bit of damage here from this Flame Spitter, but honestly, the Kaenic Rookern, it gives you so much health, so much MR. He's got a second Negatron cloak in inventory too. The Rumble just can't burn through him.
I honestly, if he had more...
They're thinking better of it. They're backing away. Maybe if Caps steps up a little bit too far here. Skewmon gonna come in, look for Toots.
There are reinforcements on the way.
Yeah, we're gonna get teleports from both sides. Grand Starfall, defensive positioning out of that one. Broken Blade knocked up into the air, but that's not the target. You can go after. The Ornn is so tanky. Flashes out, going to buffer through the tidal wave there. A lot of damage on this Skewmon, but he ain't dead yet. The Ornn goes through onto 4. Tatu's gonna die, and Caps cooks him up. G2's gonna lose their mid laner right on back. Such critical health bars on both sides. Only Toots and Hansama still with a lot of resources to work with, but Furia's hanging around, trying to do more damage to the tier 1 turret. Gigo in the tri-brush, has to be careful here. Skewmon stepping forward. They'll just clear out the ward.
Gigo is able to do so much damage with just multi-man flame spittering them down.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough as, oh, Toots.
Toots is in real trouble here. Caps ready to follow it up. Toots does a flash to try to get out, but it is a little bit late. Gigo finds Caps as Skewmon was so preoccupied trying to find the kill. There was enough space between him and his own mid laner that Caps gets picked off, but they will still...
I do think that even though his KDA might not look as impressive, that Orianna ball is a big problem. Unless G2 is willing to invest ultimates, the zone control is tough to deal with, but if he gets caught...
Yeah, Toots in some trouble here, but immediately backed up by Gigo yet again. Lebrov coming around on the flank, but he's not close enough. Skewmon and Broken Blade both in a lot of trouble now. Nice tidal wave! Broken Blade still alive for now, but finally falls. Hansama and Lebrov trying to get a little bit back here. Onto JoJo, onto IU, but instead, it's just another kill. Back to Furia as they get themselves 2 for nothing and a ticket punch straight to Otacon.
And that's a huge deal! This is going to be Otacon going over. Flash invested by Skewmon as well. The mid lane turret will fall, so G2 punches back, but I think you're still going to be pretty happy with that as a trade as... Yeah, he sees Dynami and is like, no, never mind.
He's like, all right, we're just gonna, it's a little bit of fast and furious racing here. As the Herald finally. 5, right? Exactly. Like Caps is separated off. Then you also have the duo of Hans and Lebrov separated off. It was a 1, a 2, and a 2. As Broken Blade fires a nice ulti to hit IU. He tries to use the cleanse to get away. He's already used the flash, and IU is down. JoJo wants to get away, but he's stunned up at the very edge of the curtain call. And G2 just found exactly what they were looking for. Caps picks up the second one.
Oh, the hook?
Hook onto Toots, but a nice counterattack there with the shockwave to lock them all up. But G2's got a counter to the counter, and they are gonna slam through Furia. Only the jungler left alive as G2 get 2 for free and then immediately follow it up with completely smashed in the favor of the LEC number 2 seed.
Hansama offering himself up, much bigger than you can see on your screen because of the power of that Ornn.
Exactly. Now G2 grouped up as 5 in the mid lane. Here's those full-on honest 5v5s that you were talking about. Here's what's so hard for Furia's comp to play out. A nice route there coming out from the deadly flourish. Equalizer's not going to get a lot done. It's only Lebrov taken low. Tatu's going to grab the kill on him immediately here at the very start as Broken Blade and Skewmon having to retreat now. Curtain Call is fired. Its final shot. G2 have not won the fight, and now with the Grand Starfall coming in, Tatu ain't done. Broken Blade tries to get out, but a little bit more damage is going to seal the deal. Tatu takes out Broken Blade, and staring down the barrel of a difficult situation,
Smell the weakness, dive in immediately. Another reminder that it doesn't matter who you are, even Broken Blade, as tanky as he is, as many jokes as we make about the Koenig Rockern, if everyone...
Now there is still a tier 2 turret up in the bottom lane, so it's not like he can try to do a full wraparound play here, find a move on to Toots. IU in a lot of trouble. That'll be a free catch for G2, and with the Lucian out of the picture, Baron's alive, Chronicler, and I think that...
As a very short-range AD carry, IU, at some point, he's going to have to walk up to a wave, where he was promptly greeted by, as we can see, an Ornn. Now,
Furia's going to give it.
There's no blue trinket available. They're going to just send it,
Wait,
but it's too early.
They are not going to give it. Tatu jumps in with the Grand Starfall, but that star fell too early, and that is Baron plus a Panther. And G2 only need one more wave to force it down.
G2 is trying to play as calm and collected as possible. Ornn items coming through across the board.
Annie and the Trundle alongside the ones that we already mentioned for the Ornn and the Jhin. As here it goes, G2 going in for what could be the game-ending play. They do catch Jojo, and Caps guarantees he's already down, but Caps is traded back. IU gets the shutdown there, but G2 continues their push. Its bodies dropping on both sides as Gigo barely stays alive, but now Lebrov, Hans, and Broken Blade gotta be careful. Broken Blade dropped low, but he ain't dead yet. Tatu keeps the chase going as G2 has to back up. Caps dying early meant that Furia was able to stabilize and keep this game alive.
TP.
Now a TP ready to rejoin as Broken Blade continues running away. Tatu and Toots ready to join up with Gigo and try to guarantee a little bit more. Lebrov gets tagged there by the Electro Harpoon. He's out of there, and Grand Starfall's ready to lock up BB. A little bit more damage, a little bit more CC here with a stun. Tatu's got the kill, and G2 lose 2 on the way out.
And it will watch him get evaporated, but he doesn't really matter. Still gets his spells off. And then here we see a little bit of a too deep chase onto Gigo, who doesn't actually end up going a little bit too short on the damage. And then this extended chase from Furia ends up coming huge.
Yeah, the fact that Gigo lived with 200 HP makes the difference of the follow-up play, as Skewmon has been found out in the bottom lane. He was all alone, and Furia is happy to show him the error of his ways.
The inhib also didn't end up actually falling because of the whole sequence. Oh, Caps, that's a trap.
Oh, maybe not. Caps is really enjoying these interactions with his squishy short-range AD carry here on the Zanny.
Yeah, only one of the two is having fun in that matchup.
No, IU is not enjoying not enjoying the way that this one plays.
Seeing the punish come through feels kind of reminiscent of what Furia was able to do, right, in game number 1.
Yep.
Not dissimilar.
Now let's see.
G2, fortunately, despite those picks, didn't end up losing more than a soul point.
So it's with the flash over the wall to guarantee that he doesn't get caught out there by Caps, but now Lebrov could be in a little bit of danger. The Nautilus is not particularly tanky. Tatu just steps up, puts the spear in his back. That's a rampage.
Really wants the chicken.
It's a jungler's instinct to go for the enemy chicken camp. When it's up, Caps is going around for a potential. The calling nearly kills him. Caps is dead. Caps! He wanted to make the hero move. He wanted to get the Annie play, the big Tibbers into the back line, but instead he's discovered he
die. Now, do you know, jungler still alive. Skewmon doesn't have flash, is Trundle, so he would need to walk over as Furia, try to get the Baron, try to get back in this game.
Curtain Call has opened up, though. Tatu's got to be careful about that one. This Baron already doing significant damage to Furia, but they want to keep the aggro on. Curtain Call is gone. Furia with the pick on Caps.
Ooh.
He had smite. He had smite. He had smite. That's
a little scary there, Cap.
That's a deadly flourish is not embarrassed. Just marching down mid lane. Caps back alive, hitting level 17 here on the Annie. Furia, they'll take the tier 2 at least. Again, the gold.
I don't think this is one of those cases. It's Ayu has nerves of steel.
Yeah. He is ready to play to the limits here with the Lucian as he steps up with a calling. Broken Blade's going to try to block most of it. The Equalizer also already used. That's a couple big ultimates from Furia for not great result here under the health bars of G2. Now, Cap's coming around from the side. Keep your eyes on the Annie. He's got the flash ult. They try to go in for the ultimate there from the Nautilus as Caps goes in for the engage, but he only engages onto Jojo. Tatu's here on the front line. He's about to be taken out. Caps barely keeping himself alive as Giga's about to die here too. Toots stays alive as Ayu gets the kill into Caps, but now the carries on Furia gotta try to escape. G2 have found a massive fight. They found the AD carry, and it's a double kill for Skewmond as he takes a big old bite out of Brazil's hopes in game number 3. It's G2 versus Toots for the next 25 seconds, and G2 are barreling down mid lane. The inhibitor about to fall. The minion wave already ready, and Broken Blade so tanky, he'll take a shower in Nexus turret shots before he backs off. Labrov goes in for the dredge line. They'll lock up Toots. They'll lock up this game. It's G2 after a 37-minute battle, taking game number 3.
And the fact they got Ayu there at the end, I'm pretty sure he got just, despite his first clip,